Everyone, we've got Mike Peterson here. If you have a question for him, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll call on you. Spencer Nelson.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I am great. And Spencer, I have to tell you that I had someone email me your season preview of us, and possibly the highest compliment I've ever received as a coach is when you said I give off a Ted Lasso vibe.
I'm happy you enjoyed that.
My all-time favorite fictional coach of all time. So thank you for that compliment.
Of course, a fantastic first season. I do actually have a real question here.
Yeah.
Could you talk about what the team's energy looks like a day away from the season opener, and what the scout on Connecticut looks like?
Sure. Well, I mean, the energy is great. We had we had 3 days to prepare, right? And which is rare in this league. We only have 4 3-day preparations all year long. This is one of them. So the preparation was great, right? We spent all of the first day and a lot of the second day on us, trying to make sure we were right. And then we spent some of the second day and today on Connecticut, but energy was great, focus was great, all of that. So, now you got to go out and play, right? And it'll become for both teams, it'll become a mental toughness thing. Early in the season, teams that are mentally tough, that can stay with the plan and execute when they're not used to the grind, right? Those are the teams that generally have the most success early. The scout on Connecticut they're just super talented. I mean, JJ is a great player. DeWanna Bonner is one of the best players in the history of the league, right? Brianna Jones has just been killing people inside in their preseason games. January, I'm sure will play. She hasn't played yet, but I'm sure she'll play. And she's a veteran in this league that's a great player. Carrington has played great in their 2 preseason games, as has Kayla Charles. So, I mean, they're super talented. They have one of the best rosters in our league. There's no question, even without Alyssa Thomas, who's just also fabulous. So we'll have our hands full, but I like our group. I've been saying that the whole time. If we play the way we need to play, we'll have a chance. And if we don't, we could have a problem.
Terrell.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
I'm excellent. And you?
Doing well. So to kind of follow up, Spencer, he asked about, the attitude of the team. What is your personal attitude? It's your debut as a head coach in the league. You have a few players that appeared on the GM survey, Kennedy and Airy, and, looking to possibly have a reshaped and breakout season for the Dream. So how are you feeling the day before your debut?
It's not, it's so not a debut for me. First of all, it's not about me. It's about our players, right? I'm just here to help. So I'm not worried about it. And then the second thing is, I've been doing this for 40 some years, right? I've been involved in, 12 or 1,500 games, either as a head coach or an assistant coach, and probably 600 and something or 700. I don't know what the number is, games as a head coach. So I'm just going to be me. I am not going to have opening night jitters because it's not my opening night. It just isn't. I'm going to do what I do. And what I do is just try to help our players, right? I'm going to do the best job I can. Hopefully we've done our work now, right? Hopefully we're prepared. Okay. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel tomorrow. Our players just have to go and be relaxed and play.
Demarco Williams, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Hey, Coach, Demarco Williams with Atlanta Magazine.
Hi, Demarco.
Hey, actually just got off the phone with Renee Montgomery. It's funny that you mentioned opening night jitters. I asked her about her thoughts leading into her first season as a part owner. And, right. there was a nervous energy in her laugh. Tell me a little bit about, I know she's only been in the role a few months. Tell me what she's meant to the organization thus far.
Yeah, well, it's so good to have Renee especially in a leadership role like she has as vice president, part owner, right? I just think it's fabulous. You know, Renee and I have a very good relationship, not a secret. You know, when she was playing here, she and I were pretty close, right? I don't know if she shared this or not, probably not, but her nickname for me was Blue. And it was because she said I was like her Bluetooth. I was always in her ear, right? And so I remember saying, well, you know, I'm sorry, you know, if it's too much, she's good. No, 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 good, we're good, we're good. So we've got a really good relationship, and she's fabulous. You know, I mean, her energy for this organization is great, and in her role, she's just been. I mean, she's so focused on our players and organization and telling their stories, promoting our organization, and trying to build, you know, the best organization from top to bottom in the league. And so, you know, I'm really grateful that Renee has the role she has and that she's involved. And, you know, I'm excited to see what she does. I'm sure, knowing Renee and knowing the amount of time and energy she's put into it, I'm not sure what our record will be in basketball, but I'm pretty sure we're going to win the social media and content contest. I'm pretty sure of that.
Captain Mayor, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Tabitha Turner here.
Hi,
Good to see
Tabitha.
you. With Hayes coming back this past weekend and all the new players and additions, you know, chemistry is going to be a question for this team. What have you seen so far through, you know, the scrimmages and the preseason games with how the chemistry and how the team is gelling?
Yeah, so that's a almost a loaded question, a little bit, not in a bad way. It's a great question, okay? But I'm a big believer that before the first game of the season, nobody has good chemistry. No team has good chemistry. Now, our players like each other, and we've got great relationships. We've got a good, tight relationship, I think, coaching staff and players. I think all that is really good. So I think that's phenomenal, okay? Just the vibe of our team, the closeness of our team, all of that, okay? The real chemistry that really good teams have, that develops through competition, right? That develops through taking a tough L, right? That develops through going through something hard, right? Somebody gets injured, you're playing short, whatever, right? And so, you know, my bar, my standard for chemistry is pretty high, but I think we have the potential to have fabulous chemistry. And frankly, our players, more than any players in this league right now, have been through kind of some adversity, right? I mean, they lost their head coach. Now they've got me, bless their hearts. And so we've got a head start on that. And I anticipate it being really good because our players like each other, and we've had fabulous energy and really good focus in practice. So I'm anticipating it being good, but that's one of those things that takes a little time to develop. It doesn't happen before your first game very often.
Thanks, Coach.
Marcel Portout, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Coach, for taking the time with us. You've spoken so much about the collaborative effort of the coaching staff and working with the players. How have the new assistant coaches, Fred and LaForce, acclimated themselves into the program?
Yeah, awesome. So Dania, Coach LaForce, is still getting cleared through protocols. Okay, so she hasn't been in a practice yet. Okay, but I anticipate her being fabulous. Okay, Coach Fred has been at 3 practices now. I'm losing track a little bit. It's kind of been a whirlwind, and she's just been great. I mean, you talk about somebody that our players should immediately respect her place in this game. Okay, I mean, she's one of the all-time great players in the history of the SEC. She had a great professional career in both the ABL and the WNBA. She's done a fabulous job at the college level. And so, I mean, she's jumped right in and done a great job. And you know, she's finding her way. I mean, 3 days ago, she didn't know any of her players, right? So she's establishing those relationships, and they'll come quickly because she's just such a good person, has such a great basketball mind, has such good rapport with players. And like I said, you know, when I introduced her to the team, I said, guys, this is a grand slam home run right here coming into our organization. And if you don't know her, you need to Google her because that's who you want to grow up to be right there. So I couldn't be, Darius and I couldn't be happier that Coach Fred has joined us. And same with Dania. When she gets here, I really anticipate a smooth transition, and she's got great energy, very positive. The players will love her. So we'll be able to get a little bit off of Darius's plate, a little bit off of my plate here, and that'll be really helpful.
Rafiq Lewison, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, this is Rafiq with Nothing But the Sports Talk. I just want to ask you questions about the new rookie, Eric McDonald. How do you feel that she's progressed throughout training camp up until tomorrow's game against the Connecticut Sun?
Great, right? So Ari came in with a real desire to learn, a real desire to compete, and she's innately a hard worker, okay? She's got just the best habits. Like, she never takes a rep off, okay? Every rep is full speed, and she asks questions, right? She's always trying to learn. She's curious, right? She's always trying to learn. Coach, how can I do this better? Coach, what did you see there? Coach, what did you think of this, right? And so it's just been, it's been really, really good. And like I said, her habits are flawless. She's always ready to work. She always works hard. And the best athletes, I'm telling you, all the great athletes have great habits. Look at all the great athletes in every sport. They all have great habits. They work hard every day. They're used to the routine. They understand how to work. And so Ari has that, which is a huge leg up. Now, having said that, she's a rookie, and tomorrow's going to be for her first game. And when she played in college, and she played at the highest level on the biggest stage, okay? The best team she played against last year, right? In that game, there were maybe 4 WNBA level players on the floor, okay? Tomorrow night, there's going to be 10 all game long. So the level of competition is a huge jump. And I anticipate her adapting well to it. She's going to play a big role for us as she finds her way. I'm counting on her to play, okay? But she's just come in and done a great job.
Last question, we'll go back to Spencer. Go ahead, Spencer.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to wrap this up. I've seen Atlanta picked a lot to finish, 9th, 10th, 11th, from, various places around the league. Do you feel like this team is being underrated? And do your players have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, or are you kind of blocking out the outside noise?
I hope we're blocking out the outside noise. The one thing that I can tell you about every single person that votes on every single one of those polls, none of them are coaching a team right now. So, you know what I mean? So the polls are great. Media people have a job to do. Most media people are very well informed and take their job seriously, right? But my first year here, I think we were picked 9th, right? And we went 23-11 and had the best record in the Eastern Conference. So I think they're blocking it out, okay? And I'm not a big, I'm really not a big chip on your shoulder guy, okay? My thing is, we don't have a lot to prove. We got a lot to accomplish, right? If you spend all your time trying to prove other people wrong, you forget that what you're trying to do is accomplish something, right? And so, I think that's a Steph Curry quote. Okay, I don't want to steal Steph. Okay, but we don't have anything to prove. We got a lot to accomplish, and I think if this team plays the right way, with the right energy, the right focus, and the right chemistry develops, all of that, right? I think it can accomplish a lot. And then, when the season's over, that's the poll that matters, the standings sheet, right? And hopefully we're on the right side of that.
And I lied. We have one more question from Autumn Johnson. Go ahead, Autumn.
I'm good.
Hey, Coach. This is Autumn Johnson. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Atlanta Dream, you guys have so many scoring options. And you mentioned during media day that you're tracking closely in a stat sheet, shot selection by range, by type and action, plus each player's strength. Can you just describe how you're now taking this analysis and catering it towards Connecticut tomorrow?
Sure. Yeah. So our offensive focus won't change a ton from game to game in terms of the kind of shots we want, the ranges that we want them from, the actions that we want them to come out of. Now, those change game to game based on opponents' defensive strengths and weaknesses. Every team in this league is really good at something on the defensive end. So we'll try to avoid it. Okay. Every team in this league has things they're not as good at. So we'll try to do more of that. Right. And that's a game by game adjustment. Part of our game plan will be, this is the area of our opponent that we would like to attack. These are the kinds of that we would like to run against these specific players on the defensive end. Okay. These are the matchups we like. We want to get to these as much as we can. Okay. But the thing that I will never do is let that get in the way of our players playing freely. Okay. One of the things about this team is, again, we're going to use the phrase non-traditional all year long. Okay. And so we need to play in a non-traditional way. And so part of that is we need to create pace, and we have athletes that can create pace. And so we need to have that as our first priority, create pace. And then behind that, then it can become, okay, here's the defensive weakness of this opponent. Here's the defensive weakness of these specific defenders. And then we'll attack those specific things as we have an opportunity.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.